Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy MumboElite. Welcome back to another video. Today we got a new updated Premium Mixed League upgrade. This is come out for now 14 days by the time I'm recording this. This is an upgrade to the one we had last time with a few different kind of changes made throughout the SBC. I'm going to go over those changes. I'm going to show you how to make easy coins off trading methods with this. I'm going to show you how to grind this essentially unlimited. I'm going to do 10 plus runs a day. And if you want to put those things together, make coins while you do this, that is definitely possible. So if you do enjoy, smack the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, the changes from last time. Same thing for both of these sections. The only difference is the tradable pack was a small prime gold players pack last time. It's now untradeable. So went from tradable to untradeable. Lib and Sud in terms of pack, this used to be untradeable. Now it is tradable. And then the other change too is this used to be a 74 rating. It's now down to a 73, which makes it cheaper and easier to do. Also, look at that. Players from one club max of 2. It used to be max of 1, which made it really hard to get a lot of those gold libs and suds. Made everything super expensive, especially the high-end silvers too. You now can use 2 from a club, so it's going to make the SBC cheaper in general. So let's go through the price of it. Let's go through how I knock out these sections. And yeah, let's get into it. So first and foremost, I'm going to link you footbin.com. I go to this to kind of see roughly what the price is with the current market. Right now, the whole SBC costs right around 20K, but you're going to notice we do this for infinitely cheaper. And for a lot of these sections, we use a lot of untradables. And you'll constantly be getting these over and over with our menu grind. So as you see here, the biggest cost is the Libertadores and Sudamericana. And it's broken down in the following. So currently, this is relatively the cheapest, under 8K for this one on PlayStation. They have 2 golds from River Plate, a 76 and 75. And then with those 2 ratings, to get a 73 rating, you need 2 71s and the rest 72. Now, that might be relatively easy for you to do, especially if you're using these exact players and buying them out. But what that's also going to do is drive the price up. So a suggestion I would have for you guys is if you're going to do that section, have some different workarounds too. And I'm going to go over some filters later in this video in terms of how to get these for cheaper, how to make coins off of these. We're going to come back to that. We're going to show you the other sections first. But here's an alternative for this one that I've used. Instead of using 2 golds, I use 3, which allowed me to use a bronze, some lower rated silvers that I could win on bid easily. And it is essentially the same price, just a little cheaper in some areas and a little bit more expensive in others. But like I said, I'm going to come back to that. We're just showing that very briefly that there's an alternative to that. Prem La Liga and Bundesliga Serie A, I'm going to show you real quick. We used all untradables here. These were all cards we got from the League SBC grind. We put them right back in. And once you're doing this grind too, you're going to notice not only can you use the cards that are in your club already, you have an SBC storage section, which if we take a look at, you have a ton of cards most likely from your menu grind, whether it's a League SBC card or an off league. These are things that you already had in your club and you got another duplicate for. Feel free to use these. As you see here, we got some La Liga players. We got some League One players. We got a Serie A player right there. Some more Serie A, some Bundesliga. We got a ton of things that we won't have to spend a single coin on. We can continue to use over and over. So in terms of getting this done, it's going to be relatively easy. For a small, rare gold players pack, we open it right away. Things that we get untradeable that can be used in the League SBC, we put right back in, and then things that are duplicates, we just put in the duplicate storage. So let's see what we got here. We got an 84, 283s. We got some League SBC cards. We got a La Liga and Prem. We can use those for the next time. And then for like 83s and 84s, if you want to make the rating a little bit easier for these sections to do, by all means, you have the power to do that. You also have other SBCs on the menu that you could stick those into. Maybe a player SBC you're doing, maybe a team of the week player pick or something like that. By all means, do that too. Again, this one used to be tradable. Now it's untradable. Small prime gold players pack. Only need a 77 rating. We got this ready to go already, mainly using things that we already had untradable. I had some tradable stuff just chilling in the club, but in general, if you were lacking a few cards and you had to spend a few hundred to get some of these players, it is super easy to do. You can just go to the market, do a buy now for it, or if you want it for even cheaper, you can win it on bid. But yeah, very little to no cost spent on that one as well. Get that done, open that pack, and you'll see from this, we'll get a lot of League SBC cards back. This is something that you just rinse and repeat over and over. Any walkouts? Nope. Looked like we got a woman there, though. Look at that. So we got Reece James. He'll be good for the Prem, the next run through. We got some off leagues here. We got a League One, so that'll be good for that section. Another Serie A. And the cards that don't fit into the League SBCs, on Mondays, usually we'll get repeatable SBCs like a player pick or something. What I do is anything that is not the leagues for League SBCs, I start putting those in there, and we get to make a bunch of player picks, maybe some 78 double upgrades, 80 plus double upgrades, whatever it may be at the time. That's what I put those towards, and you get some more League SBC cards potentially for those, or you pack some promo cards. Now here's the League One and Eredivisie section. I'm going to show you kind of how we do this now that we're down to the final two sections. It is very easy to get these untradeable, like we were talking about. But the one that is going to take a little bit of work, and by a little bit of work, it's not much, is the Eredivisie section. So you could use all League One, all Eredivisie, either or both together works perfectly fine. But when I notice prices for the bronzes and silvers, it's usually cheaper in Eredivisie. So if we go to the market right now, or we go to my club, and I go through, you're going to see I have a ton of players from these sections. This is because I've been easily able to win these on bid or buy now, sniping under the current price to pick these up, store them in my club, and then flip the duplicates for profit. We're going to show you how you can kind of get yourself to this point. If we went the other way, if I started from William, you're going to see that I don't have a lot of players from these because these were the ones I was originally using. So we get low on them, and then we fill them back up. So the way I go about this usually is I just go to League, Eredivisie, and we start by checking what the price of everything's going for. 200, there's a snipe there. Looks like that one goes for 400 within the hour. We just double their coins on that. Easy way to make coins with this filter too. But I'll just kind of see the price of what everything's going for. Another one for 200 listed. Looks like everything's 300 plus though. Another snipe there. If I don't have it already, I can store this in my club and start working towards certain teams. But the ones that we don't need, I just sell in for more profit. So 350 now. Looks like everything kind of goes for 350. You're going to see some gold start popping up there. So if I sit at 300, I could sit here, snipe these, store the ones that I need for the SBC. Not only are we getting it cheaper than the current market value if we're sniping under the buy now, which makes it cheaper to do the SBC. Again, the duplicates, the things that we don't need, it's just easy coins in the meantime. Same thing applies to bidding. If you wanted to bid maybe up to 300 coins on essentially everything, you could do that and then flip the ones that you don't need for profit. If you have nothing in your club, I would maybe recommend finding a few teams. You can kind of use whatever you want. Ajax, teams like that with a lot of golds are maybe the ones to stay away from if you wanted to flip ones that mainly just have bronzes and silvers. But kind of just go through, open bid, less than the buy now. Stick to maybe one or two teams at first. Mass bid on those. It's going to be very easy for you to get the duplicates to sell them for profit. It's going to be very easy for you to fill your club consistently of that team. So you can do kind of everyone in bulk, or you can do a few teams. And like I said, League One cards, the rest I put in were things we had untradeable. If you did have to buy a few, everything is super cheap, so you could put some golds in that way. But as you see, it's overkill in terms of rating. I only needed 68. I ended up getting 74, and that's due to the amount of golds we had untradeable. If we wanted to buy more Eredivisie cards for cheap, we could do that too, stick them in there. But this gets us a tradable jumbo gold pack, which is very easy to do. And whatever the cost of that SBC was, which was already relatively cheap, this is a tradable pack. So we are going to get a ton of coins back this way. Now, depending on when you're watching this, there might be a few different things happening. There might be a rise or fall in the price of gold commons. If we look here, a lot of gold commons are only 350 by the end of the hour. If we get like a player pick on a Monday for a repeatable SBC, these might be worth even more. It'd be worth kind of storing in your club and selling for more later. We have different leagues that pop up here that will have different values throughout the year. We might be able to get like 1,200 for this Saudi league, but I believe at one point it was 3K with a player SBC out. La Liga Hypermotion, that's not up at all. I'll store those later and look. But if you wanted to check each kit, you could. If you wanted to check each badge, by all means, those are all things that to get you coins back. We already got over 2K in terms of the quick sales there. 84 here. 84s, I think, are like 1,800. We'll pop that up. If it doesn't sell, we can put it down for less. But as you're seeing, we are very quickly getting the coins back that we spent on this SBC. Didn't cost us much at all to get done. And this is essentially just pure profit at this point, which we then can use to help us pay for the other sections of the SBC. If we're missing a few players there and we desperately need it. Or if we already have the players there, it's just pure profit at this point. So like I said, some stuff we're chucking in the club. Not everything we sold yet, but we're already sitting pretty in terms of coins that we're getting back. 2.8K, discard there at the 84, some golds listed. Also, too, if there is cards that are cheap, let's say League SBC Gold Commons only going for 350 within the hour. If you want to chuck it in your club and use it in the next League SBC run, by all means, you can do that too. I just usually try to sell things that are tradable and use the untradeable to save us even more coins. But now it's to the hardest section, which is a lot easier than it was last time. The Lib and Sud. Again, you have some of the golds from River Plate that are relatively cheap. You can get these right now for, I believe they're 350 to 400 coins. We'll go through some different filters right now on how to get these for cheaper. So if we go to 400 coins, you're going to see things expiring. If we go to 350 right now, you're going to notice all these are 75 rated. We can get one of each of these, get maybe this one, Lazzini, and then Brea or something. And then we're good to go there. If we look at the price of golds in Sudamericana, it's a different story. So if we look here, everything is 1,600 within the hour, which at first, you're thinking to yourself, holy cow, that's crazy expensive. That's going to make the SBC so much more money. Yes and no, you don't necessarily need to use it. But if you did, there's some workarounds. You can snipe for less than that. So if we sit here, I had a snipe before, if you'd believe it or not, on stream. The first one we did, we sniped for 350. But you could sit here, snipe this, which then would be less coins for that card to use in the SBC, or you could flip it for profit. Now, with these golds, I love when they're a little bit more expensive, and you're able to do the compare price method, which right now it's glitching on screen. I hate this. I'm going to talk through it. Hopefully it only takes a second to fix itself. But in that 1.5, 1.6 range, if we ended up sniping a card or seeing a card listed on the market, if I go to compare price on that card, you're going to notice a bunch of open bids on that card or cards that haven't gotten a bid on it. I usually go through those first few pages. What you'll notice is there's usually, depending on the time of day, later in the evening as more people get offline, there's maybe not as many cards. But if you're on sometime around or after new content, you'll notice there's a bunch of potential open bids for way less than what the current price is. We'll show you that in a second, but let's say I wanted to buy now under 1.6 because that's the buy now currently. I would snipe at 1.5. Anything from that, I could get guaranteed profit or for cheaper. And then if I compared price on that card, I maybe be able to win a bunch on bid for 1,000 to maybe 1,400. Not only would that be even cheaper to do that for that run, if you wanted to use the card for that, but if we wanted to lazy list or think they're going to raise into the evening, we could list those cards instead of for 1,600 where they sell relatively quickly. We do maybe a 1,700, 1,800, 18 or 1,900, a few hundred above that to give more of a window for profit. If you think about that, if you're consistently winning a card over and over for less than the buy now and selling it for more, that is a super easy way to make coins. So we'll go back to that again, show you what I mean. Lib, Sudamericana. Go to 1,600 this time. See, everything's 1,700 now. So if we went to compare price on it, look at this. So you'll see here, there's a 1,900. Are any going to pop up? No. So this card doesn't have some good ones right now. Usually there's quite a few that have open bids. If it's a few minutes out, you can still do this. Just go in. You can kind of test bids. If it's under a minute, you can get away with usually 500 plus under the buy now. But if we're getting already 3 minutes out, I maybe do up to 1,400 for this one. Like I said, that makes it cheaper for the SBC, and then the rest we can sell on for easy coins. You do this over and over consistently, not only is every single run going to be cheaper for you, you're going to have an influx of cards, so many more than you're doing actual runs for. It's just going to be printing you coins in the meantime. Now, for the other cards, you notice here I use some 69 rated, some 70s, a bronze rare. I wanted to work around those high rated silvers. The reason why is if we go to silver rare, you're going to notice there's a lot of things that are expensive. So if I go to, let's say, 500, you're going to see some river plates. Dude, what is this market right now? You're going to see a lot of river plates pop up, but I don't see any 70 pluses from any team outside of River Plate, which means they're going to be more expensive. So if you're using those type of cards in SBC solutions, be prepared to pay a little bit more. But in terms of the trading aspect of it, we can make a lot of coins off of those too. So I just raised it to 550. If I go to the 59th minute, I see here's a 69 rated. If I compare price on that, if I snipe that, looks like I could potentially list this card for maybe 1,000 coins within the hour. So there we go. I'm going to try to snipe that one. I don't know if we actually won that. Dude, this game, is broken. Sorry about that. The menus are a little bit all over the place, but you could sit in that filter. The price might be a little bit different by the time you guys are on, so don't just copy the exact prices we're doing. Kind of check for yourself to see what things are going for. But as you see here, more stuff is popping up. I'm going to win these. Hopefully I can win both of them. Look at that. Easy coins. I can either use these for cheaper in the SBC again, or I can flip these for profit over and over and over. Now we're going to show you, which is silvers in general, if you want to use lower end stuff. If we go to 400 coins, everything is selling for 400 within the hour. So again, we can set at like a 350 or a 300, snipe anything here for profit. Or if we wanted to mass bid for less than that, you could do that too. But for me to use my high-end cards, right, those 69s, those 70s, you'll notice here at 400 coins, it's 65 and 66s mainly at the end of the hour. If we go more towards the 59th minute, you're going to notice there's more of those higher rateds popping up. So if you're wanting to, you could go to the 59th minute, try to snipe those, get them for cheaper than they would if you just searched an individual card, maybe later in the evening. These are all easy ways to make yourself coins over and over again. But not only is looking for rating important, depending on the league you're doing, it might be a difference in price too. If I went to Sudamericana instead of Libertadores and I did 400, you're going to see things aren't even selling for 350 depending on the card. So it's even cheaper to do this league. So if I look here, 250, everything is going for 250. Again, I'm seeing a lot of 65s and 66s. I'm not seeing things close to 70 rated. Here's a 68. I can snipe that. If I won that, I could either use it or I could sell it on for coins there. 400 within the hour. Not only a good way to make coins, again, rinse or repeat. I'm going to say the same things over and over again because it's true every single time. You either save yourself coins or you make yourself coins every single way. So I just do that over and over. You can kind of mess around with different things to use. Like, for example, I have a Ledesma here. Ledesma I got at the time for snipe for 2.4. If I compare price on him, there's going to be a ton of potential open bids. If we could get him for 2,100 too, and he's going for 2,500 plus within the hour, not only is that good coins at the moment, we could lazy list for even more. And if we did that with like 10 to 20 cards that we won, we're making a decent chunk of coins. It's probably going to pay for a few runs of this section. So it's really up to you on how you want to do it. I'm going to submit that. And again, this pack's now tradable. So whatever cost you spent, let's say you spent around 7K, like it said the cost was on Footbin, I would have to essentially take that and then whatever we make from here, subtract that, and the difference is how much it truly ended up costing us in the end. And what you'll notice is a lot of times with the trading, with the other stuff you're doing on the side, you'll usually end up with the same amount of coins, if not more than you started with. If I open this right now, didn't look like we got a walkout at all. But if I went to, let's say, quick sell all this, discard is already going to be over half the price of the SBC. But we got a bunch of things that probably have more value. If we look, we could sell a lot of these silver commons for 200. If these are a league SBC card, it probably goes for a little bit more. So there's 600 on that Saudi league. This Bundesliga 2, we could probably get 300 out of. Very quickly, you're noticing the cost is getting cut down quite a bit. There's another one. Probably get 250 for that one. Here's another one here, 200 within the hour, most likely. Gold rares, they're always going to be difficult to list consistently. I'll usually end up quick selling those. Always check to see if there's any value to it, though. There could be a random Evo that shoots things up. If it is a higher rated card, there's some things that I might try listing. But in general, if you're listing for 650 and it's not selling, the quick sell for 568 is not going to be the end of the world. But as you see here, a lot more coins back doing it this way. We get a majority of it back, and we just get the final pack too, which we're about to open right now. So not only did we get this tradable pack, all these cards that we can then continue to sell, make coins on, we now have the prime gold players back at the end, which some people, they might want to save for team of the year. If you're someone who wants to do that, that's fine. I'm going to open it right now, and this is going to give us more golds back into the League SBC grind. We just rinse and repeat this over and over. I slowed down this process a little bit for this video to show you one run through, kind of some stuff behind the scenes to help you out. But as you see, you just do this over and over. You keep getting League SBC cards, you keep using them. Off leagues, you put into player picks or other things that we get in repeatables. Worst case scenario, you put in a gold upgrade. That rinse and repeat, you're going to be able to do hundreds of runs throughout a month. This is only out for 2 weeks. If it comes back with the same exact requirements for a longer time, you can just keep doing it over and over and over again. But yeah, that's essentially it. If it sounded like I was very repetitive in this video, it is because it's very easy to do, and I want to hit the same points home. Everyone who complained about the price of the Lib and Sud last time and how difficult it was, it is now easier to do it because it's 73 instead of 74. You can use 2 from a team instead of 1. If that was the thing stopping you from doing it, and you admitted that the Prem La Liga, Bundesliga Serie A were the easiest thing to do, and the League One Eredivisie wasn't difficult at all and super cheap, you should be spamming this now because it is very easy to just do it over and over and over again. If you're trying to complete player SBCs, get yourself fodder. Excellent way to do it. If you're trying to save some packs, like I said, for Team of the Year, maybe the Prime Gold at the end. Excellent way to do it. There can be a menu grind even without that much menu stuff at the moment. And those are some hopefully ways to help you out. Both make coins if you're wanting to do it as a trading tip. Things as an investment maybe too, if you think things are going to raise into the evening for the gold lib and sud like I showed you before. But yeah, that's essentially it. If you guys did enjoy, smack the like button, subscribe if you're new. If there's anything that I didn't cover in this video that you think would be useful, let me know. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. If you made it to this point, appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later. It's been your boy MumboElite. I'm out. God bless.